Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only dark clouds when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. In this house just ain't no home. Every time she goes away. Oh, bam! What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So, we just lost Bill Withers, one of the great singer-songwriters of his generation. That guy, I mean, Lean on Me and Ain't No Sunshine and just so many. The guy was awesome. Bill Withers, you were one of my ringtones. Damn, sad to see you go. All right, what do we have going on today? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, y'all remember this guy right here? This is my own design, custom made by the Khukuri house in Nepal. Oh my goodness. And some people were smart to think, wow, that looks a lot like the Condor Atrox. And you'd be right to think that, because the Condor Atrox, I was holding it one day and I was inspired by it. I said, this knife is fast, but I want to make it more powerful, more of a arm hacker offer. I said, how can I improve on the Condor Atrox, or did I improve on it? So we're going to find out. We are going to find out between these two. When we put them up side by side and get them nice and close, you'll really be able to see the differences. Let's first go over these sheaths. Let me find a place to put these guys down here. So the sheaths, both sheaths are great. This sheath is Kydex with a rubber belt loop, doubled, and the fact that it's Molly compatible makes this a very, very good sheath. Tons of lashing points. This is an all-out combat type sheath. Just fantastic. As far as carry, it's a very wide sheath, right? And it hangs pretty low. You'll notice this one hangs about 2 inches lower, and as far as thickness, it's nowhere near as thick. This is I believe it's goat skin, the leather. It's very, very soft leather, beautiful, well done. And to say which sheath is better would be impossible, because it really comes down to application. This would be a great carry sheath. With a leg strap, I would be able to carry this even in combat, no problem. Hanging from the belt, strapped to the leg, awesome. And it would match my uniform pretty well. This one, again, I can carry in combat. I can strap this to my bag. I could put it to my vest. I could wear it on my belt. It doesn't matter. It has lanyard holes here, so I could strap it to a leg. So there's really no way to say what's the better sheath, because both are phenomenal. And due to what you're using it for, that's where you're going to get, which one benefits you more. But I love both these sheaths. Condor did an amazing job with the sheath. The guys over in Nepal hand made this for the knife. They don't hand make sheaths and put them in a bin and then pick out the sheath for the knife. They make the knife and then make the sheath to fit it. They line up the sheath with the blade. Fantastic. All right, so let's get into some measurements. We're going to start with the Condor. So we're looking at an overall length of, let's see here, 17.5 inches with an 11-inch blade. So obviously you're looking at a 6.5-inch handle, actually a little bit more, 6 3/4. So we were right there. We were right there. I was a 1/4 inch off. Our blade depth is it's over 2 1/4, so it's like 2 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 maybe 7/16 thickness. Blade thickness, man, it's hard to see in this light. Here we go. We have 1/8 or 3/16. It's 3/16. So now you know what it is. The handle itself, I want to get a girth test on that right here, girth measurement. We are just under an inch thick as far as girth. Now what that does is for you smaller people, smaller hand people, that will give you a pretty good grip. But for a guy with giant hands, it's a little small in the grip, right? If I squeeze and grab the blade and turn, that's going to happen, right? But it's made to be fast. And you'd think that with such a long handle, you know what I mean? Your swell inside goes all the way to here, right? So your actual grip is from choil to swell is 4.5 inches long. So you'd think that because they're measuring for a big hand, you'd think it'd be girthier, but it's not. Does it take anything away from this thing? I love this knife. It's amazing. It's so amazing. It inspired me to build a knife. So now we're going to talk about this guy. Ooh, yeah. So we are looking at a total length of 17 inches. And we are looking at, it's actually about 16.5, and then you have this little guy right here bringing it to 17. So we have an 11-inch blade, same length in the blade, but here we have up to the edge of the handle, let me see, from the guard to the handle we have about 5.5 inches, and then you have this little piece of metal here. So that gives you a swell, an actual grip of 4.5 inches. Sound familiar? The difference is this girth is made to fit the hand. How girthy is it? At its widest spot, you are looking at almost 1.5 and 1.25 inches. So you have more than 1/4 inch of handhold on this thing to get by that. We are looking at its widest point, 2 and about the same, 2.25, just a little bit over 2.25. This is where it gets a little different. We are going to talk about thickness of the blade, and we are looking at there we go. We're looking at, I want to get it right, it's 7/16 it looks like, which as you can see is slightly thicker. It's about almost 3 times as thick as this guy. Now, how does that change overall weight? Overall weight, this is heavier, but it's got a distilled taper. So you can see how thick it is here and how thin it is there. They do the taper better than just about anybody. Where this one, the blade thickness is the same all the way through until it tapers down into the swedge. Both are swedged. Let's see if we can't get this point of the blade to this point of the blade. Now you're going to see the belly difference. Do you see how this one has a very deep belly? This one has a very narrow belly. As a fighting knife, I want it to slash, penetrate, right? So the narrow belly opposed to the fat belly, where the fat belly is more of a slasher than a penetrator, this one will penetrate. That's why I went with the narrow belly, and you can see the shape all the way through. I want to try and hold the 2 spines aligned so you can see where the angles change, and you can see how it just alters from one side to the next, and then you can see the grind is completely different. This is a full flat, right? So you're not going to have that first bevel cutting out really deep like this one, and it A, reduces weight off the blade, and B, it helps bring it to a better sharpness at the end. When you're talking about a blade this thick, you can't ride with a full flat, otherwise it's going to be really, really far unbalanced. As far as overall grip, this one fills the hand better. This one, it's a 2-piece micarta. This is wood. This one has a really nice feel to it. This one has a better fit to it. So if you can pull that out right there. The swedge. This swedge is squared, right? There's no sharpening. So when it comes to back cuts, it's not going to be as devastating as something with a sharpened swedge. And this one is a 90% sharpened swedge, actually a little bit more than that. So when I swing forward and back, I'm still getting a deadly cut on the return. I can chop with this. I've done it. I've put videos out. Remember, there's videos on both of these. So blade shape for blade shape, you can really see the difference where I narrowed out that point, and you can see, like, from a distance, or if I showed one and then I showed another in a completely different video, you'd be like, oh my God, it's the same knife. But then when you look at it, you say, okay, wow, that's a lot different. The thing that's similar is blade style and overall size. I love the size of this knife, and I said I need a knife that size, but a little bit different, because it's not going to be a camp knife. My dbad Preacher, that gets it all done. I said I want a fighting knife, so that's where I went with this. You see the hard bend from that knife right there. You could see, if I flatten out that handle, how far down that goes. Where this one, if I hold it out, you see how it doesn't bend down? That's the difference right there. This goes straight across. This one bends down more like a Khukuri. What does that do? It gives me more hacking ability. Hack. So you can really see the bend in this blade. So if we put both spines there, one bends, one keeps going straight. You see how far off that is? That's where the true difference in these blades are. This one goes straight up. This one goes to the left, like a lot of guys. So that's what we're looking at right there. So basically, fast fighter, heavy arm lopper. That's where we're going. So let's go over a couple pieces of video, and we will actually, you know what? That's what I was going to do. I was going to show you video of these two knives performing that I already did, but instead, why not we just go outside and go into the woods and just do a double hack along? Because really, you can just go to each individual video. If you want to see the Condor Atrox, go to my Condor Atrox video. You're going to see all the footage that I was just going to add to this video. Why? It's already there. If you want to see the dbad Defender, the Khukuri House dbad Defender, go to that video and see all the footage there. Right now, we're going to do an actual side-by-side rather than a let me show you what this one did and what this one did separately. Screw that. Let's do it right. Come on. No, officer, I don't understand what the problem is. Oh yeah, before we get started, I just wanted to show you guys what awesome looks like. That right there, that's what awesome looks like. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thought I would just bring you out here and let's see. Look at those two beasts together. Gosh, does it get any better than that? You know? Let's see here. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, what a display of gorgeousness. Is that a word? It is now. That right there is two beautiful blades. One from Nepal, one from El Salvador. Both absolutely immaculate, perfect blades. All right, let's go swing them. All right, before we get heavy swinging, I figure why not get some light swinging first. So we have the 1-inch forest. Let's see what we have. I'm going to use my Defender on the bigger one. Look at that. You guys can't tell, but it's barely hanging on. That was a really good swing. And I short shot it like that. Look at this. Look at that. This tree doesn't know what to do with itself. It's split here. Actually, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Now these are nice, easy swings. You see what I'm doing. Look at this. Look at this. You see a difference in those cuts? Me neither. Me neither. Both knives. 2 different blades, 2 different cuts. I'm going to swing a little bit harder now. Well, that was easy. Atrox. Oh, they are beasts, y'all. They are beasts. Oh my goodness. These things are awesome. And this one's a fighting knife. I designed it as a fighting knife. Bah! 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 So, here we have. Oh my gosh. These things are just awesome. Bah! These are awesome freaking fighting knives. All right, let's go hack something bigger. All right, I got a nice big fatty here. Wow. I have to say that the bite on my Defender, got thorns in my legs, the bite on my Defender is so much more because of the weight. So if I use a half swing, it's, hold on, half swing, it's insane. It's insane the difference. This one has got a nice, narrow, flat grind where it's just digging in. But to dig in as far, I'd have to hit it with more power. Does that mean it's not digging in far? This thing is tearing it up. A beast. A beast. A female beast. All right, swedge. Look at that swedge. I mean, just back cuts. Back cuts are devastating. Look at this. That's the swedge. Look at this. Let's see. That's all swedge right there. Chunks flying. This one has to swing a little harder, but I could definitely cause damage with the swedge. But edge for edge. I got stuck. So, these 2 guys right here are both just insanely capable blades. Now you can see, I've been using this guy a little bit. It's been fun. But just 2 blades that, I mean, if you have the money, obviously, contact Khukuri House. Tell them you saw the dbad OEF Defender and you want one. Say, I saw Donnie B all day use this knife and I want one. And the Khukuri House will make you one. That's just the way it is. If you need my spec sheet, I'll give you my spec sheet. But I believe they all have it. Man, awesome. If you want the Condor Atrox, go online, buy yourself a Condor Atrox. They're everywhere. But, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So let's see if we can find a balance point here. So here you go. That's the balance point on my blade. You can see where the balance point is. You have a whole bunch of weight in the front, but this distilled taper works the weight to where you are going to find that weight heavier in a belly. Even though I made this belly thinner than this belly, right? Even though I made this one thinner, you'd think that because it has less of a belly, it's going to be handle heavy.
Well, obviously not, since it has a forward weight. Forward weight means chop, swing power, and the ability to get through things. This one, let's see where this weight is. This one might be pretty close to the same. Just about. The weight is more toward the forward, just like my design, but not as much. You have less weight in the rear, and you can really feel the difference from rear to rear, from here to here. Just awesome. So each one is just a badass. Oh, I keep hitting trees. Whoa! Sweet blades. Completely different weights. Completely different handle styles. Watch how they get around the same speed, same time, right? They're not, normally if one's different, see how this one's dropping? This one's dropping. It's not going like this, out to the side. You'll see people go like this, out to the side. It's because they can't get their blade around. Both of these blades are coming down, right? And you'd think with two completely different weights and different handles that would be not the case. I told you, the handle is thinner on this one. So this one is just, man, you can hear that hitting the hand. It's solid. It's just solid the way it grips. Now this one flares out this way, and that's why when I do this, I'm not losing it, because that heel is keeping it from sliding. This one is completely round up here, so when I go forward, it wants to do this, right? So you have to hold on to it, otherwise you're going to slip out. This one, it holds on to you. That's the best part about that Khukuri grip, and that's why I wanted to go with your traditional grip. These guys just know how to get it done. Just everything about these two knives, I love them. I love them. This guy right here, you think, how can you design something that can be a competitor to something that's already tried and tested? Just because I'm dbad. Because I know what I'm doing, guys. I know what I'm doing. Look at how far that blade, when I hold the handle dead flat, right? Look how far that blade goes down, that point goes down. When I hold this one dead flat, right about there, look at that. See the difference? Huge difference in blade angle. And that's why this one is able to get around like a Khukuri, and this one gets around like a Bowie, right? God, I love them. All right, you know what? That's pretty much it. I mean, we got to hack away, got to show you how devastating both are, and both are completely devastating. I wouldn't want to get hit with one over the other either way, right? So now it comes down to, all right, well, if I could have only one, which would it be? And normally it'd be pretty easy to say. I'd say, well, you know, obviously I want this one because I designed it. But I say, for me, it comes down to application. If I say, which one do I want if I can only have one, and you're saying, okay, well, this is what you're doing. You're going out into the woods, and I need you to set up a shelter, process firewood, do blah, 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 and skin an animal. All right, well, obviously, that one I'm taking. So if I was going to take a camp knife, this would be it. If you're saying, all right, this is what you're doing. You're taking a knife, you're going into combat, or, you know, the world has gone mental because of coronavirus. So you need something that you can defend your family with. I'm taking this one all day. So, man, overall, if I said I was going to keep only one for the rest of my life and get rid of one, this big, thick hunk of nastiness, I will never, ever get rid of. I won't ever get rid of this one, honestly. But I will never, ever get rid of this one. The dbad Defender, designed by me, built by the Khukuri House in Nepal, KHHI. Just phenomenal. Guys, you can order one. You can have this blade. It is sweet. So is this. Oh my gosh, I'm a lucky boy. I'm a lucky boy. All right, y'all. That's it for me. I'm Donnie B all day. Bad. Until next video.